Hi, this is Mr. Nazarian. We're going to continue our review of skills that you guys have already mastered, but we need to rethink and tools that we're going to use as we continue our work on our performance tasks this week in school. Our learning objectives: I can add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators, 5th grade standard NF1, and I can solve word problems that involve addition and subtraction of fractions, which is 5th grade standard NF2. Okay, Caden picked 2/3 of a pound of strawberries on Saturday. On Sunday, he picked 1/4 of a pound. How many pounds of strawberries did he pick over the weekend? So that would look like, first of all, I want to know, what's our question? Our question is, how many pounds of strawberries did he pick over the weekend? So the weekend is made up of Saturday and Sunday, so total, I want to know how many did he pick on Saturday. So important information, he picked 2/3 of a pound on Saturday. And on Sunday he picked 1/4 of a pound. So since I want to know how much he picked altogether, that means I'm going to be adding it. So I'm going to add those fractions, 2/3 and 1/4. But as you know, we can't add unlike fractions just by adding across because they have different denominators, which means they're different size pieces that we're talking about. So we are going to have to find equivalent fractions for each of these where they'll have a like denominator. So in order to do that, we think, well, what's a common multiple of 3 and 4? So I know that 3 and 4, if I'm counting by 3s and counting by 4s, that I will land on 12. So I know that a common denominator would be 12. And then I just need, well, how do I change 3 to a 12? So which multiple of 3 would give me 12? I know that it's going to be 4. 3 times 4 is 12. And I know that any time that I'm finding equivalent fractions, I have to do whatever change I make to the bottom, I have to make the top and vice versa. So if I multiply by 4, if I multiply the denominator by 4, I have to multiply the numerator by 4. And again, as review, that's because that means we're multiplying by 4/4, which, as you know, 4/4 is equal to 1 whole. Well, if I multiply any number by 1, I'm not actually changing the value. So that's why this fraction that we're going to get is going to be equivalent. It's going to have the same value, even though the numbers are different. It's the same value. It's the same size piece. So 2/3 is equivalent to 8/12. And now for 1/4. So which multiple of 4 is 12? I know that 4 times 3 is 12. Again, I have to do the same on the top that I did on the bottom. So I've got 1 times 3 equals 3. So that means 3/12 is equivalent to 1/4. So what I'm really doing here is I'm going to be adding 8/12 plus 3/12. And now because we're talking about the same size pieces, we're talking about 12ths, right? It's just a matter of how many of them. We've got 8/12, and then we've got 3/12, and 8 plus 3 equals 11. And that's how you add unlike fractions in a story problem setting. Okay, see you tomorrow.